Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? And it's Wednesday, which means that we can do anything we like. There's no constraints, there's no Throwback Thursday, there's no request maps, anything. So anyway, I was looking through the old workshop and I saw something on the front pages that I would have thought would have been requested, but I got no record. It's from one of my BonBon buddies over on Patreon, and you would think that they would have given me a nudge saying, could you have a look at this? Well, they didn't, so I'm going to do it anyway. It's Brookings Beach by Holly Molly C. You may recognise Holly Molly's name from the credits at the end, because anybody else who's a Patreon subscriber gets their name in the credits. There's your start square. There is no start square intersection, but that's okay, I guess. It's just a little more convenient if it's provided. There's your resources, perfectly fine, I guess. A lot of farming to be done amongst the forestry. And then over onto the workshop. I hope you're a fan of Cedar Valley 4K and pine trees. And unlimited pine trees at that, and of course the network extensions too. Right, so let's come down and have a look at some swooshing country national roads. Oh, these are nice. Now, don't panic. I know you look at this going, oh, I hate maps that have got just national roads. Nope, we've got highways as well. We're just starting on a national road because for me, it made the most interesting route from beginning to start. From end to the finish. You know, those two places anyway. I'm warbling. Anyway, yes, so we started off in the fog and we're just going to make our way across the map, taking an interesting route. Here's our first intersection. Interesting choice of intersection. It works fine. Everything's spinning through quite nicely, and I imagine that's not going to get overburdened too badly. Very low road bridge here, and we have got streetlight clipping. Oh, Holly Molly, Holly Molly. I think you should have known better. You should have known better, my friend. But anyway, no, carry on. Carry on. Right, so now we've got some very, very sexy swooshing highways. A slight glitching between the highways. I know a lot of you don't care, but I'm going to mention it because if I see it, I mention it. It's kind of like part of the job, really, isn't it? You know, if I don't mention it, you'll go, ah, BonBon, you complained about the glitching between the roads in this map, but you didn't complain about it in your Patreon supporters map. It's favoritism, isn't it? Well, not really. It's there. I can see it. It's there. But the roads are smooth. They're equidistant, pretty much all the way. They're taking a fun route. It's a logical route as well, following the path of the river most of the way here. And quite scenic as well. Everything I like in a highway, it's all there. We've whizzed past the start square now because the two highways are quite close together. It means putting in that start square intersection will be a little bit awkward, a little bit tricky and awkward. But I'm sure you're up to the job. Just use your move it. Use your move it. It's not cheating. It's not cheating, is it? No, I don't think so. Anyway, here is the main intersection, centre of town. It cuts 4 ways across. It's very nicely done, quite complex, leading across to modern docks. I'm imagining these docks to be a little bit like skyscrapers and all those kind of things, rather than a proper, a bit of like a posh marina going on. That's how I'm seeing that. Maybe no, maybe it's an industrial shipping docks. It's down to you, not down to me. I'm only here to sort of like look at things, you know. Ah, we got more streetlight clipping. Oh, dagnabbit. Holly Molly, Holly Molly, what are you doing to us? What are you doing to us? You're breaking our street lamps. You're drilling holes in the road so we can have street lamps clipping through. Damn it. Anyways, onwards. We're going this way because it's once again a more scenic and distant route than the original one. Plus, we've got an alternative route at the end as well, so we can keep driving even further. The roads, the left-hand highways, dipping up and down as it gets close to the sea every now and then, and causing a slight bit of glitching between the two highways every now and then, but not too bad. Not too bad. If I find any bad glitching, I will certainly point it out. Like there, there's quite a steep drop between the two, but it's working. And down here now, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. It was getting close to this. The little bit of mantle shining through there. It was getting close to that all the way along, and then we just get that little sliver of road there that it just couldn't take it anymore, ripping the continental shelf apart by putting the roads too close together. Never mind. Okay, what we have now is switching the fog off. There we go. Fog on, fog off. We have an intersection here. We're quite close to the edge of the map. We've got this intersection with two routes to the outside of the map. Quite clear by the way the traffic's going, which are the two routes to the edge of the map. Quite clean, quite tidy, quite nice intersections again. And we've got this little national road underneath there. The little white trucks just came out of. And if we go down that route, we're going to go somewhere just a little bit different. Well, a little bit different. A little bit different from everywhere else on the map anyway. It's not no record-breaking or inspiring things happening here. It's nice to have a destination when you've got a road. And here, we're heading towards a destination. I bet you can't guess what it's going to be. I bet you can't. If you said a lighthouse with a jetty, well, you did guess then. Okay. Okay, lighthouse and jetty at the end of there. Now let's do the rail. Now this rail runs along the edge of the map. It's deep in the fog, and this is one of those highways that split off just before that intersection we just looked at. Now it's a bit uppy downy, this little bit of rail, if I'm honest with you. A little bit too uppy downy for my particular liking. Like here, see this point that we're at here, right? It drops down quite a lot before climbing back up to the other side. And I think an elevated line from across those 2 points would have looked a lot better. And then we're dropping back down again, and guess what, we're climbing back up again. Unfortunately, the rail is a little bit uppy downy, which oh, and also I've still got the catenary switched off. I meant to put that right. I meant to put that right before starting this episode. Right, as soon as we stop, I'm going to switch them back on, and hopefully it's going to work properly. Hopefully. Okay, cutting through the forests, bridge across the river, a bit jinky janky there, and a big drop into the tunnel. That's not so good, I'm afraid. I'd like to see that tapered in rather than just dropping down. And then climbing up's not so bad. Not so bad on the other side. So we've got some slight tapering. I'll just switch the catenaries back on there. And through the magic of video editing, you didn't see any menus. Right, and some of them are missing. Some of them are missing. I'm not blaming the map creator for this, because obviously I've just switched on and off the mod in the middle of the review, and I can't say for sure whether or not that's a dead end there. Not sure where that's coming down to. Maybe that's the main railway station, possibly there. Yeah, the catenaries being missing. I'm putting that down to the mod being switched on in the middle of the review. See, it's glitching in and out. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no fault of the map creator there, fault of the reviewer. Should have had it switched on from the start. There we are. There we are. I know most of you prefer them. I live in a part of the world where we don't have them. We've got the live rail running down the middle of the tracks, so yeah, they're alien to me, but I know everywhere else seems to have them. Anyway, guess what? That's right, it's the theme review. No, it's the asset review. Now this one's really nice. If I'm honest with you, I haven't done it exact justice. I've put this together in the space of about 1 minute, because obviously a lot of you know that I've had quite a busy weekend with things going wrong left, right and centre, and so filming the asset review cinematics wasn't something I wasn't going to spend a lot of time on. So if this looks really good to you, then that shows how good Industrial Pipeline by Baddy Deer is. if it looks good. Because honestly, it shouldn't look good the way that I've put it together. It should look like a mishmash. So anyway, if you like this, Baddy Deer, responsible for the parking lot roads and various other things as well. This is a really nice collection of assets that you can put together to make your own industrial pipelines. Really nice. Industrial Pipeline by Baddy Deer. And off to Themington Island for a little bit more Stray Cats Territory Plains by Rafa with the Corn William Lutt. I'm just loving this theme and LUT, this one. It's just got a real nice, almost Instagram colouring to it. Do you think Instagram colourings? Yeah, the old filters. Right, okay, factoid time. Dogs small enough to get through the gap of about 7 by 5 inches were permitted to roam in William the Conqueror's royal forests. That's the first modern King of England, about 1,000 years ago. Any dogs larger than that were killed because of the threats they posed to deer. Oh dear. Olympic sports that have been discarded include cricket. That's an exciting game. It's all over now. Croquet and motorboating. Motorboating. I didn't know that. Doesn't surprise me. And there have been stranger things like the barrel race, but we won't go into that right now. If you don't know about the barrel race in the Olympics, honestly, look it up. There's some really good vintage video of that. Shipping routes. Yeah, we've got all that going on. Water flow. It's built on a hill, and this is a working river. Pretty much a working river. You can't see much with the arrows, but you can see the water flowing, and it really picks up about here. That tells me there's probably a water source about there. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, big water source there. I'm not sure if I like this or not. I'm not sure whether it looks real. It kind of does look realistic, that it's, you know, dropping off into, yeah, I'm kind of buying into that. I'm mixed. Put your comments down below whether you're believing in that water source and whether that river looks real like that. What else have we got going on? Oh yes, water flow. We were looking at water flow. Let's have a look out to sea, because you might want to put your sewage straight out into the ocean, and there is motion in that ocean. Let's go past the exit to the river, because we know there's water coming out of there. Yeah, a little bit of water movement pretty much all the way along the coast. Now, this is a pretty nice looking map. The forestry blotches, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's have a look at the mountains. The mountains look really great. I think you could do some small mountain communities up here. It's going to be a little bit tricky getting the road up, but hey, they're mountains. It's supposed to be tricky getting a road up. Not supposed to be an easy task, but I'm sure you could have some fun with that. Heading off towards the fog a little bit, but not much to see up there, so we come back down. Now, the build planes, I think you could work with these, okay? You could use the forests to help shape what shape you actually want to build your towns and cities. So these clearings, using them as the main build, I mean, obviously you're not going to not build onto the forest areas, but I think, you know, you could use those as a guide to start shaping up your city. I think that's a really good idea, personally. Right, what else have we got? Shall we go up the river? We haven't gone up the river yet. Not in first person view. That looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. We've got no drowned trees. Well done, Holly. You seem to know your stuff. We've got another one of these little rapid things going on here. And once again, it's just dropping off of there into the deep of the river. I'm not sure whether I'm buying it or not. I do. I like it. Aesthetically, it's quite a good looking map. Not totally realistic, but has everything that you need to work as a backdrop for your for an aesthetic city. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Detailing, yes. We've got some shipping clipping. We've got questionable rivers as to whether they may or may not be realistic. We've got 1 or 2 other. Oh, and that tunnel that dropped away into a pit of oblivion. Other than that, it's not bad. I'm going to give it a middly 3 for detail, but it's actually very close to a 4. Gameplay potential. I think you can do a lot with this map. There's plenty of places to build, there's lots of traffic flow. It's a bit inconvenient not having a start square intersection just to get you started. And like I say, there are one or two things to fix as well. But overall, I think it's very playable. So I'm going to give this 4 big fat stars. So that's Brookings Beach by Holly Molly C. So glad to see it. And actually, no favouritism, but I think it gets a BonBonB seal of approval. Patreon or no Patreon. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me tomorrow for another map in the What to Map series, and there's Holly's name on screen now. Hi Holly! Hiya! Yes, join me tomorrow, Thursday tomorrow, so it's Throwback Thursday, and you never know with Throwback Thursday whether you're going to get a really good usable one or one that's looking a bit dated. So join me tomorrow to find out which one of those two things it will be. Anyway, have a great day. It's been lovely chatting with you, and I'll see you very, very soon.